Bitch, you know it's the boat. Bitch, it's the boat in the Perry. I move them hoes like a fairy. My head be red like a cherry. All of them bitches, they know. All of them bitches, they know me. All of them bitches, they know us. Them bitches, they wanna be us. I need to know how everything sounds. Hello's ideas. Hello, Gigadong. Can you hear this song? Can you hear me? Is there static in my microphone? No static? Hell yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to get out of the auditory part of ContentID. I'll probably turn it down to be like barely audible when we watch. So we're going to test out anime. I'm thinking we just jump right to City the Animation. So my hope is that the fact that the television's at kind of an angle will help me with the content dodging. But I also put stuff kind of in front of it in various places, you know, so it's not like pixel perfect. These are not things that have always helped. Like, I've definitely tried to do stuff like this and it's still gotten caught. Shaking so hard, leg so hard the camera is wobbling. Yeah, it tends to be like that. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Gary. Gary said, I'm a what? And I don't know what you were responding to. Hello, Mayday. Hello, Tanya. What are we watching? I think we're going to watch episode 2 of City, because I haven't watched it yet. There's already, like, fucking... How many of these out? 4? This is how every season has gone for me for years. Is that the season starts, I make a video about the first episode of all the new shows, and it takes me so long to make that video that a second episode has already come out by the time I'm done. And then by the time I start working on a video about the second episode, if I even get that far, YouTube has completely removed my video about the first episode. And then by the time I exit the depression spiral about having my video removed, there's 4 fucking episodes out. And this has happened every single time I try to watch anime. That's why I'm trying to divide. I need to escape. What's the name of that No Thank You album? End Cycle Futility. End Cycle Futility. It's time to end Cycle Futility, gang. I don't want to have to stop anime blogging forever. It's the thing I'm best known for and best at. I don't want to have to stop doing it forever. But I will. If I can't win the war against YouTube ContentID, I will quit anime blogging forever. Because I can't make money off of it anywhere the fuck else. Nobody cares enough about anime off of YouTube. So, we have to find a fucking way. And this is experiment number 1. This TV might be have too much clarity. This camera might be too good. Maybe I can do this in a way that it just looks shittier and at some point it'll work. I want to gradiate towards that. I don't want to start off with let's make it look as shitty as humanly possible. We'll start off with what's an acceptable level of shitty that's kind of easy to put up with. And then work our way down from there. Gary didn't know you were a mod. I don't remember when I made you a mod, but I made almost everyone who's like a regular a mod. Isabel says, oh, by the way, I just saw Summer Wars in theater. I don't know if you knew it's back in theaters for the next few days. I did not know that, but I don't think I can afford to go see that in theaters right now. I would have liked to have done that with Corona. It's unfortunate that didn't line up to us being, although we saw Fantastic Four, which was a great fucking time. So, but she still hasn't seen Summer Wars, and Digimon the movie is like one of her favorite things in the world. Alexander Alex says, makes you Trixie wanted to ask you, did you know they're making a live action My Little Pony? What? I hope they fail. Or make an amazing film. One or the other. It was beautiful. I cried so many times. 10 out of 10. Hell yeah. I'll be in and out putting wifey to bed. I know the ropes. I have to put husband to bed every night. He always begs me to come to bed, and I'm like, I gotta fucking work. I have to do my fucking job. I haven't been doing my job at all lately. And I just took a big trip, so I have to put the coin back in the purse. Hello, Malik. Seems like the end game of this method is just to make a cardboard kaleidoscope to wobble up the screen in real time. Yeah, I mean, I want it to be somewhat watchable. Judgmental Cap, why the camera shaking? I shake my leg hard. Gigadonk says Fantastic Four was really good. 8 out of 10 needed more stretching. I mean, I don't give scores anymore to movies, because autistic people obsess about them for the rest of my life. But I would definitely give it above. I would give it at least an 8 as well. But I'm thinking of that in terms of like, there's a lot. To me, there's a lot of space in there. You know, like 10 is not a lot of numbers. There's a lot of emotions that you could. I seem to love it a bit more than you did. There's certain things that. I have like more of a affinity for something being specific, like very specific and unique. You know, like if the movie has something I just can't get out of any other movie, that's something I really, especially if it's something I like. You know, and in that movie, it's just the way that the interactions of the Fantastic Four are written. This is something that's really good about both the Superman movie and the Fantastic Four movie, is that they both just kind of presuppose that you must understand these fucking stories. Like, they did not write the movie trying to introduce you to the mere concept of what these things are. And while the Fantastic Four movie does feel a lot more of like an introduction than the Superman one, which is almost like in media res, like well into the career of Superman, the Fantastic Four movie does kind of just summarize the first 4 years and imply that like all this history has already transpired before we get to the story that actually matters, which is the one of this film, you know? And so like they both skip over all of the annoying, like, trying to warm you up to characters in a, like, trying to have characters meet each other for the first time so that you feel like you're meeting them for the first time. It doesn't do that. It makes the characters feel like they've known each other fucking forever, you know, and like they're communicating in a way that's so quick that you have to kind of catch up to it. And it's like baby mode in this regard. You know, there's obviously movies that are 1,000 times deeper when it comes to like writing characters that feel like they know each other, but the movie does an incredible job of not having the characters just like, you know, say anything that they would just know, like that they obviously should know if they know each other that well. They skip over parts of the conversation that would be annoying to hear people who are supposed to know each other that well like go over, you know, and it makes you instantly feel like, ah, yes, I understand, they are family. And like, it's easy as a fan of Fantastic Four, if you are a fan, to take that for granted if that's just something you already feel is true about the characters and the movie is just expressing something you already knew to be true. But like, I've only ever seen the Fantastic Four movies. I never read the comics. I've heard people describe what they're supposed to be like, and this movie was like, oh, that sounds like how B-Mask described Fantastic Four. I've never even experienced it this way. You know, this is the first time I'm like seeing it the way that I feel like it's supposed to be seen, as opposed to just the fucking garbage we had from. I don't think I saw the second one, but I know I saw the original Fantastic Four movie in theaters because my mom had been a fan of the comics, and nobody was happy about that. Gary Always with $5 super chat said, I miss being able to super chat. Can't log into YouTube at work anymore, so even if I watch streams there, I have to lurk. WB, by the way, welcome back, by the way. How's sobriety going? I failed. I completely failed. I lasted 65 hours. And then I had to do a bunch of really dramatic things to improve my personal life. Outside of that, I think I needed like an emotional reset where I'd gotten like too deep into the way that my life was and trying to keep it that way while knowing that it just isn't working. Like certain things have to change for me to be able to make my life work. And once I had hit that, like once I really hit sobriety and then like had the level of anger towards the circumstance I had put myself into that would allow me to just be like, okay, everything that needs to go needs to go. Like if it's not serving me right now, it needs to go, And then, ripped off a bunch of Band-Aids. But that was tough emotional work, and dealing with the fallout of that means I was not about to try to be still chasing sobriety while also dealing with everything else I, did. Thank you, Elaine. It is still cool I got that far. And I haven't been smoking as much as I was before in the time since. Because I had gone fucking ridiculous. Like, just absolutely insane with it. Hello, Lapusha. Hello, your stuff is cool. Alright, let's try to watch City, episode 2. And let's see if YouTube... Typically, when I watch something that I'm not supposed to watch on YouTube, I can get like 10 minutes in. But it's a hard 10-minute, like, I've had, every time a stream has gone down for copyright reasons, it has been a hard 10-minute limit. Now, typically, those streams, when they get taken down, they weirdly still show back up, and maybe they get Content ID claimed, sometimes they don't even. Most of the time, if I watch something and my stream doesn't get taken down, it will get Content ID claimed later. But I can usually trim out those segments and the stream will come back. So it's possible that this stream goes down in 10 minutes. It's possible that it goes down after it's been saved. I just want to see what happens. I want to see what can we get away with. So let's just fucking do it. Now I realize y'all can't read these fucking subtitles at all. Is it a problem that you can't read the subtitles? Do you need subtitles? Should I read what they're saying out loud? Because I have subtitles on. I could read if the camera held still. That's funny. So, additionally, I'm not even as curious about whether this is like a valid way to do like a group watch of an anime as I am. Is this a valid way if I edit this? Like, if I were to edit like a Nova anime video like this, where the footage was just behind me, like, would it still get taken down? Like, that's more so what I'm trying to test here. But also, I'm not in the mood to watch this show at all. The music and tempo of this is not reaching me right now. I need something... I need something a lot moodier. I've been like super stuck on this album. This album called Country with a U, like cunty, by Cleo Reed. It's incredibly good. And I learned about the concept of internal echolalia, which is seemingly what that song we listened to earlier at the start, Mini MV, I would heard of. Yeah, this Oracle M cover of a Fly Built to Spill song is about not being able to get a sound out of your head. And I learned that that is not like normal. Like, it's not normal to get stuff stuck in your head all the time. That's like, I guess, like an autistic ADHD trait. And it's called internal echolalia. And I've had the most intense internal echolalia for the first few songs on this album, like all weekend. Because I basically discovered this while packing to go to Krona's place. And I could not get Bird into this album, so we did not really listen to it on the way up or back. And I did not have time to get Krona into this album because we just didn't even have time to get done the things we were trying to get done. So I barely got to listen to it other than the first few songs that I kept running back, and then the whole fucking drive home for like 6 hours, I just had the riff from the first song, the hook from the second song, the hook for the third song stuck in my head on repeat all goddamn day. Internal echolalia. Lapusha with Australian $3 says, can you watch the new South Park episode like this? I don't know, maybe. I'm not even remotely interested in that, so I'm not going to, but it might be possible. If this doesn't work, you could still do it how YMS does it with just a time code, no audio video, though if you're doing it specifically for later YouTube vids, maybe not. Yeah, this is more to test if this is something that ContentID picks up, you know? Because it's possible that this just doesn't get picked up at all, and that would be really cool, you know? On an audio level, I'm just, like, playing stuff through the speakers into the microphone, which I'm sure probably sounds like ass. And I don't want to be that. I don't want that to be how I introduce this to anybody, so that's why I'm not going to play it. I just highly encourage you to listen to that. But okay, what is like the most torqued anime that's out right now? Someone give me like a really fucking torqued anime. What about that the Big Trash Man show? Let's watch the third episode. I didn't even watch the second one. I don't really care. This is a show about like a guy, the main character got cast into Trash World. The 10-second rule seems to have been replaced with the 5-second rule, yeah. And that's what I was observing on the Nova video. But I just put too many clips from one scene in the same... I talked about a scene for like 2 minutes, and so no matter how many times I cut it up and how small the clips were and how I arranged them, I knew that was like the riskiest thing, was just to have like a whole scene, you know, in there. And sure enough, Aggiedyne said define torqued, and Gigadog said Ridden Stimpy is pretty torqued. That is a good example. This is a perfect anime to ignore, by the way. I threw this on because I knew I could just talk to chat over the show and leave it playing, and I just won't care. Like, there's nothing it could possibly do to make me feel like, oh, I need to be looking at the screen right now. Like, I am absolutely certain I know what's going on without looking at it in any way, shape, or form. Ghibli is my favorite currently airing anime. I'm terrified to put a Ghibli on. Like, I feel like they have a special way of finding out. I kind of like that the way the TV is just kind of, I don't know, dirty or whatever, is creating, like, reflections that probably help, I don't know. Dandadan. Bird just watched all of Dandadan Season 1, like, today. Is Ghibli still owned by Disney in the US? Is that still a thing? Because I was under the impression that, like, G-Kids was doing all the distribution, I guess? I don't know. I don't know how it works. Fucking licensing is a nightmare. What the fuck is this song? That voice, though. Okay. I hate when a song builds up and then just cuts right out on you and make you ready for it to go. It's just like, there goes all tension. The drums sound really good, though. Hugs. The song's called Hugs. How far can we make it through a Sony Music Japan, I don't know what, King Record, whatever the fuck record label this is, song? We're not taken down yet. We're still here. I haven't gotten any warnings about the song. Can you hear this? Like, does it come through clear, the music? Oh, they're still on Disney Plus. Do I have plans for making members only videos? I'm gonna re-enroll when I get paid, but I was curious. Yeah, I have to. I was supposed to have scheduled a video for every Thursday for 12 weeks because I recorded all of them, but I did not actually schedule each of them, and then forgot that they were on my home computer when I left on Wednesday night. And of course on Thursday somebody was like, I can't wait for today's tier list video, and I was like, oh yeah, I should have scheduled all of those before I left. But yeah, anyway, I have like what, 3 of them out, and so there's like 9 more recorded, and then I have tons of ideas for members videos and like half edited, like unfinished ones. I pretty much only really plan to make videos for members. Like, the ones that I've made that are not for members are almost exclusively troll videos lately. Like, trolling about Tyler, trolling about Dochi, trolling straight people. Mostly just trolling straight people. Like, I've kind of dedicated my main, like, my non-members content to trolling straight people. And then all of the members-only content is, like, life advice, basically, or tier lists. I see Cumwitch talk in the chat. Okay, I can only ignore this show for so long. It's actually incredibly uninteresting after like 5.5 minutes, even without looking at it. Like, you would think that I would hear something that would make me go, oh shit, what was that about? But no. It just felt like I was meandering in a vague miasma of anime tropes. There's new Dr. Stone. I kind of like Dr. Stone, but I'm behind. Lapusha with Australian $2.99. Why no interest in South Park? Cumwitch. I just am not like that into South Park. I mean, I have not been caught up on it for years and years. I used to basically just catch episodes when because Victor will just marathon all of it over and over again in the background while he plays DS. So he's watched it a bunch of times, but like, I don't know, it's okay. It's fine. It's not something I go out of my way to watch. You know, I grew up with it, so I'm like normalized to it, I guess. But you know, it's not like my it's not my favorite. It's just not really my bag. Apparently, Tyler the Creator's album is my bag because everything YouTube is recommending me is related to it. I did, I guess, just listen to that whole album on YouTube. Sure, let's see how Don to Don Season 2 is looking. We'll skip halfway in. No. Oh, wait, no, I saw some of this over Bird's Shoulder earlier, I think. Dementia is a genre of anime. Fooly Cooly is in the dementia genre. I guess that's... What the fuck is Puparia? Anybody recognize this? What is Puparia? It says 3 minutes. Okay. Why not? It said a film by Shingo Tamagawa. Oh, she's cool. This feels... I like... What the fuck is that thing back there? Is that a real creature? Whoa. Looks like that Spirited Away hallway shot. Spooky. It's a spooky Duke. That's a cool outfit. Is that fucking Shiro from Dead Man Wonderland over there? Oh no, this is fucking sick. This is just like a bunch of sick imagery, like, and dope music. This feels like it's someone's audition to get into Ghibli. Like someone who wants to be an animator at Ghibli auditioning why they deserve to be. Look at how many unique faces I can draw. I can even animate the most complicated eyes you've ever fucking seen blinking. This looks like Howl's Moving Castle. Well, that was dope. I don't know what the fuck that was, but that was cool. And I guess it was a film by Shingo Tamagawa. Puparia. Hilarious name. Okay, Lapusha with Australian 299 said, just this one episode, please. Come which? Nope. Isabel Incorporated, member for 1 month. What the fuck is this feature? Whoa. Thoughts on Toure hating the new Tyler album? I popped into the stream where he was reacting to it, and he pretty much was saying the same thing from front to back, from what I could tell. He's just clearly not into dance music. Like, it was the kind of thing where I just kind of watched it wash over him, and he felt nothing, and I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because to me, it's like, I was immediately grabbed. Like, I immediately wanted to be there. And the first thing Tyler says is like the most outrageously gay, raunchy thing he could think of. And for me, that reads as unique in a way I don't think it would for Torre, where he's just thinking, well, rappers are raunchy all the time. You know, this doesn't mean anything additionally just because it's gay, and to me it does. You know, so like I understand why. To me, it's just not an album for like straight people. Like I don't think it's for. And by straight people I mean, you know, it's fucking the type that fit in the little tick boxes. Schizo Sean TV with $4.99 says, "We love Trixie." Hell yeah. Let's all love Trixie, says Lane. This is a spooky, scary anime. Gigadunk, member for 2 months. On Do Witchcraft, poopy butt fart dookie doo doo diarrhea booty toot, you got the poop stinky. God damn. Your stuff is cool, member for 2 months. Free member milestone chat from the super chat menu. I see. Isabel says that Tyler song was pretty good, but not as good as the Isabel remix. I did really enjoy. Let's play that. Isabel did a rap on the Tyler the Creator Big Poe beat that was sincerely better than this year's fucking XXX freshman freestyle, which sucked. So that's not really like a deep compliment, but it is still a compliment. World tour, and she did it doing like anime cringe core raps, which is an accomplishment in and of itself. How the fuck do I find this song? Here we go.
The faggot Casper, he a friendly ghost riding me. Red hood, bitches man straight at the side of me. Side of me, better get it right or you fighting me. Better get some teeth before you try to take a bite of me. The cycle died a while ago, that bell's a heavy hitter. Got bitches worrying over me while I'm on the shitter. I got Twitter and a tizzy spin around, I make them dizzy. I got fizzy water in my cup, don't talk to me, I'm busy, faggot. This pussy industry's afraid of a failure. What else do you expect? No boy, Ito's my savior. Call me up at night if...
This pussy industry's afraid of a failure is a fucking incredible bar.
This pussy industry's afraid of a failure. What else do you expect? No boy, Ito's my savior.
What else do you expect? No boy, Ito's my savior. Excuse me?
Call me up at night if I forget that I'm a sailor. Find me in the Midwest, print a blank paper. As soon as I rap, I'm going back home to sit on my ass and watch cartoons alone. You're wasting your time and it goes. This only exists when I'm spinning my curse. My persona is that which I cannot control. Myself is a child that was left in the cold. My mentor is gone and my love I can't hold. I'll kill myself twice with my confident gold. Getting all dolled up for the mugshot. Get got the fever is spreading. You better get lost. I feed in with nothing. My soul gun is
that flow right there.
Up and I'm ready to punch.
Hold on.
My confident gold. Getting all
this part.
Dolled up for the mugshot. Get got the fever is spreading. You better get lost.
Getting all dolled up for the mugshot, get got. The fever is spreading, you better get lost. Love that.
My confident gold. Getting all dolled up for the mugshot, get got. The fever is spreading, you better get lost. I fit in with nothing, my soul gun is busted. My kitchen knife is...
I fit in with nothing, my soul gun is busted.
I get got, the fever is spreading, you better get lost. I fit in with nothing, my soul gun is busted. My kitchen knife is locked up and I'm ready to punch shit. This pussy industry's afraid.
My kitchen knife is locked up and I'm ready to punch shit. It's really good, actually. Hold on. Where's the fucking full lyrics? Here we go. That faggot Casper, he a friendly ghost riding me. Red hood bitches menstruate at the sight of me. Sighting me? Better get it right or you fighting me. That's why I pulled up the lyrics. Better get some teeth before you try to take a bite of me. That sad girl died a while ago. Now Bella's... No, bells. Now bells. No bells. Now Belle's a heavy hitter. Got bitches warring over me. Meanwhile, I'm on the shitter. I got Twitter in a tizzy. Spinning round, I make 'em dizzy. I got fizzy water in my cup. Don't talk to me, I'm busy, faggot. This pussy industry's afraid of a failure. What else do you expect? No boy, Ito is my savior. When you can actually read the lyrics in this tone of voice and they still sound good is how you know they're good lyrics, which is why I had to do it this way. Call me up at night Call me up at night if I forget that I'm a sailor. Find me in the Midwest printing blank paper. As soon as I rap, I'm going back home to sit on my ass and watch cartoons alone. You're wasting your time on a ghost. This only exists when I'm spitting my prose. My persona is that which I cannot control. Myself is a child that was left in the cold. My mentor is gone and my love I can't hold. I'll kill myself twice if my coffin ain't gold. Getting all dolled up for the mugshot. Get got. The fever is spreading. You better get lost. I fit in with nothing. My soul gun is busted. My kitchen knife is locked up and I'm ready to punch shit. This pussy industry's afraid of a failure. What else do you expect, new boy? These are great fucking lyrics. You literally destroyed the entire XXL freshman freestyle this year. Holy shit. We need to get anime cringe core. Okay, look. If XXL wants to repair its reputation the next year, you need up-and-comer Isabel's World Tour do an anime cringe core in your Cipher, or else it's just not gonna hit like that. It's not gonna hit with the heat. This of course requires Isabel to stay rapping all year, but no, you've got a rough gem worth whisper of the hearting, just whisper of the heart that for a while is what I'm trying to say. Just do some whisper of the hearting and you'll be gravy. Try to make a hip-hop cover of Take Me Home Country Roads or something. I don't know how literally you need to take the advice of Whisper of the Hearting. If anybody hasn't seen Whisper of the Heart, I do recommend watching that movie. If you do any creativity, which you do, obviously. I've been rapping for 3 years and I have 5 albums and they all suck. I've been rapping forever and all my albums are just now starting to get passable. The last 2 years, 2024, 2025, that's the music I can vouch for. Everything before that, I'm like, I see the potential, Yes, there's good ideas. There's good ideas in here. There's good ideas in this. There are some parts I can. There are parts I can revisit with some nostalgia. Yeah, nostalgia. But no, the stuff from 2024 and 2025, I'm like, all right, I can listen to that. I can, my car speakers don't make it sound that much naturally worse. Lapusha with Australian $7.99 says $1.50 per minute. The new South Park via Itch.io. Please come with Lapusha. I'm not watching the new South Park episode. I'm not interested in it. I'm not doing a request stream. I'm doing a test out does anime work on this screen behind me stream. And I'm like, I don't care about politics. The most about politics I've heard all weekend is that South Park talked about Donald Trump. That's the only thing I've heard all weekend. Did you hear South Park actually talked about... What, weren't they the whole time? What the fuck are you talking about? When were they ever not? Was this some great big mystery? What was it gonna be? South Park's take on the president? It's a political show. When was it ever not? I don't know. I don't watch South Park. So to me, this doesn't mean anything. It's it's not special or new. It's not some kind of interesting... I'm not blown away that South Park continued to be South Park. It was cooler when they did no, I can't even think of anything that I thought was my favorite thing they ever did was Cthulhu. They had Cthulhu show up one time. That was hilarious. Fucking Cartman talking to Cthulhu very casually is the funniest thing I can remember from South Park. And so they just brought Cthulhu back is all I'm hearing, basically. Golden Butterfly Cipher? That would be a good idea. You still put on the world over every time you're really upset with the internet. Now, I will stand by that the world over is good, but that is mostly because it is Yoshino Yuji and Yuki Kajiura music. Literally two undeniable soundtracks. I'm rapping over some of the best music that I've ever heard, which is why I chose them, obviously. It's just a bunch of songs I really love. But I think some of the lyrics are pretty cringe, but they are. I still feel the emotions behind it. Like I get it, you know. Um, could I do better now? Maybe. I'm curious what I would do if I tried to make another like epic cyberpunk dystopian album, and try to go over some of the same ideas. But like, I definitely think all of the music I made from a certain period was like the product of a toxic headspace and relationship. That like I listened to it and it's like, okay, it's not that you're wrong, but like why were you even in this headspace? You know, like damn. You don't need to be in a place like that. But, you know, it's still good. It's still good music, I guess. Gigadonk says, I'd react to the new South Park if you paid me, Lamau. That would be a great idea. Wait until there's a Gigadonk live stream taking requests. I just am completely uninterested in South Park. Yeah, Tanya says it just looks like a normal South Park episode. That's what I don't... Gary says they drew him with a small dick and people are trying to make it a thing. All billionaires have micro penises. This is like a known thing. This is not like news. Harvey Weinstein has like a fucked up bizarre dick. That's why he has to do... That's what leads you into this. Like, the coercion, the megalomania, like, it is literally small dick energy. That's not a revelation. That is not news. That is nothing. That was the whole coding of the hands thing. Everybody made fun of him for having small hands because that's just a way of implying that he has a tiny dick. That was already the joke. Yeah. I gotta make a clean version of The World Over, but just taking out the end. Well, I've been thinking about re-up, just, you know, stripping out a bunch of songs and just dubbing over the word y'all, because I found in almost any context the word y'all makes just as much sense, or y'all all, and I do actually say y'all more than anyone else. I've come to realize through the internet I might be the most y'all saying ass motherfucker that has ever existed. So, you know, it's one of those things I took for granted until I left the South, and then I was like, oh, people don't say this everywhere. Like, Sarah says, I would help you with that if you need. I will take you up on that. We can find a time for that at some point. I don't need it immediately, but whenever I decide that I'm gonna like refurbish my discography for somebody has Crota says I typed the word y'all at least 5,000 times today. I'm scared to like go into the server and just like search the word y'all and my name and like see how much there actually is. I'm sure I probably say it even more in verbally than in text, but I do say it. I do type it quite a bit too. It was more about the context of their parent company firing Colbert, and then South Park got a last-minute $1.5 billion deal and made an episode begging Trump to sue them to gloat. That's okay. So that sounds really inside baseball, and like I wouldn't even get the joke at that point. I don't care about Colbert. I haven't watched that motherfucker in more than a decade. I really do think less of people who do keep up with the news. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I have been arguing that the news is literally mind poison for most of my life. And, like, I can almost measure someone's self-worth in how much news they watch in an inverse proportion. Like, you want to love yourself and the world around you? Stop listening to the propaganda machine. Like, turn this TV off, turn this TV off, turn this TV off, turn this TV off. To quote Kendrick Lamar. Funniest thing I ever heard, funniest story I've ever heard, because, like, after the Super Bowl halftime performance, me and Bird pretty much just left the party we were at because, you know, we were like, got to work the next day anyway. Fuck this Super Bowl. We don't care about sports. We came home and my mom said, like, yeah, you know, he said turn the TV off. And I went, okay. And then I did. And I was like, perfect. Like, literally it worked. Kendrick, you did your job better than anyone's ever done their job. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Okay, I'm done being mean to everyone who watches the news, which is like most people, but you know, do I like most people? Probably not. What is the fragrant flower blooms with dignity? All right, time to do a Netflix test. Let's find out if Netflix gives a fuck about this. This looks pretty. This looks girly. Those were trans colors, oddly, actually. It looks, picturesque. Oh, you can't really tell the colors on the way this looks. Where did I get this robe? I think my mom gave this to me. I think it's just one that she, like, didn't fit and gave to me or something. I'm not sure. I have, like, never purchased a robe. I have had many robes given to me because people just see me wearing them and then think, oh, you like robes? I'll get you one of those. And so, you think Monkey is in chat? Is that Monkey Mafioso? He's allowed to be there. He's not. I'm not here to kick Monkey out for not doing anything, other than explaining a Colbert situation. You're hyped that he's here. Okay, well, fair enough. Monkey, did you know that Isabel has been watching both of us since she was like 6? She got into me through Monkey Jones, so she's like our youngest fan or something, I think. I hope. God, I hope. I hope there's not new 6-year-olds like watching this stream going like, I'm gonna be like Isabel when I'm 15! That's fucking a whole nightmare. Monkey Jones is gonna break your bones. What are we watching / testing for the stream? What the fuck was this called? Watching the fragrant flower bloom with dignity. Cat Cameron, wow, I've turned to dust. Yeah, I know, right? The idea is if you're a child and you're watching the stream, please do not continue to watch it. Unfortunately, that's not how child psychology works. You can't tell a kid not to do something and then they stop. Especially if it's something their parents already told them not to do. You had an ISMA ripoff show when you were 12? I wonder how many of those exist. I mean, ultimately, that show was itself just a biggest problem in the universe ripoff, which currently is itself a biggest problem in the universe ripoff. So, fucking, the rabbit hole goes infinitely deep. It all leads back to Maddox, somehow. Maddox was the first internet user. He was definitely the first internet loser. Oh, kid, fuck! Reject Coco Melon, embrace Trixie the Golden Witch. No. I don't even know what Coco Melon is. I'm too old to even know that. I found out about Bluey because of people my age becoming parents and showing their children Bluey and then talking about how it's like a good show for their kids, and I'm like, I wouldn't know. I have none. Empty womb. Barren womb. That's what I meant to say. Barren womb. It's the #1 most subscribed channel on YouTube. They beat all the... I remember back in my day, there was a race between PewDiePie and some channel from India. They're Vivo. There was a Vivo. What's Coco Melon? T-Series. Thank you, Elaine. Jesus Christ. Oh. I couldn't even remember what the fuck that was. That's how much attention I was paying even then. T-Series is now like #4. Where's Mr. Beast and Coco Melon? Mr. Beast I know about, so at least I'm not totally out of the fucking loop. I know about that pedophile Mr. Beast. I like getting high and watching those videos where they feed Lightning McQueen into a shredder. I have never seen those, but that sounds hilarious. Is Bluey a family show or an AB? I think it's a family show. It's like a really massively popular. They've got merch for that shit in Walmart all over the place. Elaine, wait, is he? What the fuck? Okay, on my Mr. Beast accusations, it's mostly a matter of... I was trying to back the Beast last year because even though I have a hard anti-rich people, anti-billionaire stance, I thought it's possible that he's so young and so legitimately insane that maybe he's possibly someone cool, particularly because one of his best friends is a trans woman. But then that trans woman got involved in a big old grooming scandal, and a bunch of people showed a bunch of evidence that Mr. Beast probably knew, maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say. Of course, they've tried to just move on from all this, quietly fire her, and, you know, not talk about it, basically. But, you know, my stance has always been, I don't understand why anybody needs hundreds of millions, billions, whatever, of dollars. There can only be two things that make sense to me. One of them is I just simply want to be the world's most powerful person. And number two is I want to cover up the most heinous crimes imaginable. Those are the only two reasons. And if you're in the running to be world's richest, you will quickly realize you're not going to. Like, if you're not part of certain power structures, it's not feasible for everyone. It's not like the kind of competition just anybody can win, you know? But if you're just trying to, like, commit heinous crimes and get away with it, having, like, a tremendous amount of power and ingratiating yourselves to people with even more power than you is a great way to do that. And if the Epstein scandal revealed anything to me, it's that that's what people want power for. They want power to do crime. Trump wants power to do crime. You know, he just wants to be able to do whatever he wants and nobody can tell him no. That's it. That's all he cares about. I just don't want to be told no. And even though he's told no constantly, he will convince himself that the people telling him no are just wrong or liars or, you know, don't even have their own best interest in mind, because he must understand everything correctly. So how could you ever perform wrongly if you just believe that you're innately correct? you know? And so these people who believe they're innately correct, and then they do something that is like horribly against the law, but they're like, well, the law is not smarter than me, you know? And I can prove that by buying law enforcement, by buying the government, by lobbying against whatever I want, whatever makes it easier for me. I'll just make that happen with money. That's what these evil people want. So as soon as somebody crosses a threshold of having a certain amount of money, I have to be like, what are you running from? You know? And some people, I know, rappers, I love rappers because they tell you. You know, Kendrick Lamar, Pusha T, Tyler, the Creator, they'll tell you. Right there in the bars. Here's what I want all that. Here's all the evil things I want to do with this money. You know? Here's all the evil things I did, and now I have money, so I don't have to do that anymore. You know? I just really wanted these things. Here's the things I really wanted. You probably really want them too, honestly. Actually, if you had what I had, you'd be like, yeah, I would have killed all those people too, you know? But it is what it is. Let's keep watching anime. I gotta read the chat. I've been ranting.
今お客さん一人だし、雨降ってるから人来ないわよ。って言っても明日の仕込みもあるし、今日は人手不足であんたしか暇なやついないのよ。じゃ、あとは頼んだ。行ってきます。
Isabel, if I was the world's richest, I would just buy a lot of DVDs. I'm trying to get rid of all my DVDs because I never watch them. It's such a hassle to put in a DVD versus typing in the name of the show and just putting it on. Like, I will literally watch a show I own on DVD on an illegal stream in worse quality just so I don't have to put in a fucking disc. This laptop doesn't even have a fucking disk drive. Like, to me, it's just dated technology, really, honestly. But hey, Krona has stacks and stacks of VHS at her house and a VCR and a TV set up to just at any time throw those in. And I've seen the way that her and her partner they just go. They're just like, yo, it's time. Boom, movie in. And I'm like, I admire that. I can't do that. If I have to like move to make a thing happen, it's not happening. I can't do things. It has to be already in the computer. I don't remember what anime we're watching anymore. Oh, right, I never knew in the first place. It's like some random thing that is on Netflix, I guess. Unfortunately, I think Mr. Beast is going to become president. It could happen, but better him than Kanye? At this point? Maybe not. I still would like to have Kanye. I mean, now that Kanye is no longer anti-Semitic, I guess. No, never mind. He can't be president. That man's insane. I can't even as a joke. Vote for me. I can be president. Sarah said, Trixie, what would you do if there was a new instant classic beloved anime that everyone loved but was called Poop.com? What would you do? I would probably be really happy. I'd be like, fuck yes, Poop.com is the way. Poop.com is the future. Poop.com is everything. I'm going to keep saying this so that the algorithm knows that this is already a concept. Like, we're living in a world now where if you say the name of an intellectual property out loud, you've already created it. Because your phone is constantly clocking every tag and every repeated phrase you say. So the second you say poop.com like 8 times out loud, that already exists in an algorithm somewhere, and that's getting pumped to God, the blockchain. Like, poop.com is already now a thing. We've already made poop.com global. Poop.com is in at least, 25 households right now. Poop.com is basically trending. So the sooner Poop.com is actually a classic anime. Poop.com is an anime. Poop.com is a classic anime. There's a classic anime called Poop.com. I'm trying to train the AI. Classic anime Poop.com. Mauve. All right. I think we've got this. I think it's going to happen. Poop.com is going to be a classic anime. I think we can make this happen. I thought Kanye is straight up a Nazi now. No, they let whoever, the court let Kanye see his kid, so now he's not, he dropped it. And then Dave Blunt's sang a whole song about how he was like, I only wrote HH to pay the rent. I can't do a Dave Blunt's. If y'all don't know, Dave Blunt's is the guy who writes all of Ye's music right now. He's not even writing it. He's just got a guy who's really good at writing like the most insane edgy raps, because he's like dying of being really like the most overweight rapper that's ever. He carries around a oxygen tank on stage, and everywhere he goes he's like actively collapsing in on himself and just and always drinking lean, and he just writes raps about like how everyone in his life is a pedophile, and like he's basically just constantly airing out people's business in raps, and singing in like a high falsetto auto tune. And so Kanye just got him to write all those songs. And so Dave Blunt's literally wrote the Heil Hitler song and pseudo apologized for it, claiming that he just needed the money. Bro, you've spent so much money. We all know how much money you've spent in just making the music videos. So, but whatever. Fucking yeah, Ye is, if you actually try to follow Ye, like follow his life, he is somebody who uses social manipulation as a means of accomplishing what he wants on like a moment to moment level. So like he'll literally be like one Jewish guy is giving him trouble, and so he will go to war with the whole concept of Jews until that guy like relents on him, and then he like stops for now, and then he'll just do it again. Like, the man's out of his mind, but he's unfathomably powerful, because as soon as you have handled a certain amount of money, the world trusts you. Money is trust, you know, and like even if you've lost all your money, if you've gained it all back also, that's crazy, because people are going to look at you as maybe like, but what if he becomes a billionaire again and I'm the one who invested in him this time, you know? But he's so mercurial, it's not like he's not going to just backstab you after, you know, like Pusha T basically carried his empire for like 10 years and got nothing to show for it other than like the respect that he can now go off and capitalize on his own. I'm getting way too deep into fucking my parasocial relationship with rappers and their narratives right now, so I'm gonna stop. Okay, let's watch a different anime. That one just totally glided off of my brain. Ruri Rocks is pleasant to have on. Let's see how episode 2 of this is. I bet nobody has checked in past the first episode of this. Okay, never mind. I don't want to hear that right now. That's annoying. I forgot this show has like a kid, and I can't hear like a high. You know what I'm trying to say. Take me back to the dementia tab. I was here and I left, and I'd rather watch. Let's watch Mamoru Penguin Drum. Can I make this a little more readable?
僕は運命って言葉が嫌いだ。生まれ、出会い、別れ、成功と失敗、人生の幸不幸。それらがあらかじめ運命によって決められているのなら、僕たちは何のために生まれてくるんだろう。裕福な家庭に生まれる人。
How many of you have seen Mamoru Penguin Drum? I was pointing at the one I'm looking at and not the one you're looking at. Agidine says Penguin Drum is in their top 10. I love it. Hell yeah. Most of you have not. Cannot find it subbed in Spanish. It must be subbed in Spanish. I would recommend ya.si. They have a lot of alternate language subtitles on there, but if not there, anybody know like a specific place that, well, I don't know. If anybody can find specifically Maru Penguin Drum in Spanish, let us know where in the chat. Or comments later. Does everyone get an ad at the same time, or are you special? I think you are special this time. I think that YouTube... Sarah has YouTube Premium and so doesn't get ads. I need to get that. I really need to switch over from fucking Spotify because I'm not benefiting really. Like, the only reason I use Spotify is because I have been for so long and I have so many giant playlists built on there that I'm like terrified of having to rebuild. But it's also gotten to a point where I'm not even using a lot of them because like I forget that they're there. I have like several hundred, I think, so
妹さんの余命はよくもって数ヶ月あるいは
Ikuhara just makes the same thing over and over. This is coming from someone who watches anime. I don't understand what you're trying to say, no thank you. I mean, I think the message of every Ikuhara work is pretty much just straight people are the devil. And you should kill them quickly. If you can. Maybe I'm projecting. The fuck was that? Just the subtitles just had like a fucking full-on URL to where to read Night on the Galactic Railroad. Holy fucking balls. The goddamn excessive what Kenji was trying to say is that it's actually where everything begins, is what the kid is actually saying in the show. And then the fucking note here says, I think keeping the name drop is important. At first I was thinking of swapping it for his surname, since referring to an author by first name is weird in English, but it's pretty weird in Japanese too, so it's probably best to retain it as is. We did not need to know that at all. No one fucking cares. Put it in a text file next to the... Okay, whatever. Sarah, oh my god, did you at 16 write this? Where do you think I learned how to write, okay? You think I was reading books? No. Most characters are straight in Penguin Drum. They're also mostly the devil. Garbage goes in the garbage bin. They're talking about straight people, I'm telling you. Very B coded. This music is nice.
ペンギンって泳ぐの上手だね。
陸ではちょっと間が抜けてる。
Makes me wanna lay back,
ペンギンもイラッとする。
have a smoke,
なんだよそれ。
enjoy anime.
終わり、ちょっと俺電話。また女の子？ほどほどにね。大丈夫だよ。うまくやってるから。ああ、やだやだ。女にルーズなバッチリ看板金が映っちゃいそうだ。
見て、ペンギン。ほら、大声出さない。
ペンギンは飛んで逃げたりしないよ。
だって。
ほら、ペンギンさんだ。
あ、
大きいな。ひまり、お土産買いに行こう。今日はひまりの欲しいもの何でもプレゼントするよ。
本当？そっか、今日はひまりデーだもんね。
Penguin.
どうしたの？
いや、気のせいだった。
あ、これすごい。このラッコ。
Tanya says I've been staring at the screen, but I got no clue what's going on. They're at the aquarium.
うちでモノマネしてもらえばいいんだし。
今さらやるかな。
してもらうもん。だって今日はひまりデーでしょ。
She has declared it to be Himari Day.
僕もやるの。
So they're basically doing whatever she wants. Also, she just put on the hat.
私が女王様でしょ。
I have that hat.
それ、いいもかわいい。
でしょ。リボンは何色になさいますか？
じゃあピンクで。
かしこまりました。少々お待ちください。
なんだ、探したんだぞ。
兄貴が遅いからだろ。
で、ひまりは
あれ？
なんでちゃんと見てねえんだよ。
さっきまで一緒だったんだけど。
誰か救急車を。広場で女の子が。
おい、早い救急車。ひまり。ひまり。
This show's about something that I fear tremendously, which is sudden death. Just fucking just dying. Just like you're walking around and you just fucking die.
カンちゃん、ショウちゃん、さようなら。
ひまり、どうしてこんな急に。
あの医者、まんざらやぶでもなかったらしいな。
Thank you, Sarah.
生きて歩いてるのが不思議だって。いつでもその時が来る覚悟をしておけって言ってたな。これがひまりの運命だったんだ。苦しまずに、しかも思い出の場所で行けたんだ。むしろ幸せな最後だ。とりあえず
But is man's fate bound to some transcendental law? Whatever the berserk quote is.
よくも自分の妹に、僕たちの妹にそんな冷たいことが言えるな。
俺はただ事実をありのままに受け止めているだけだ。
何が事実だ。どうして決まりなんだよ。家族で朝ごはん食べられるだけで幸せっていうような子だったの。どうして。
多分
This is the first episode, yeah.
罰だからさ。
生存戦略。
Oh shit. She's not dead.
なんだ。
Oh yeah, poop.com. I can't wait for poop.com. That's gonna be a classic
お
anime.
前たちの運命の至る場所から来た。喜べ。わらわはこの娘の余命をいささか伸ばしてやることにした。もしこのままこの娘を生かしておきたくば。 翔ちゃん、かんちゃん、ここどこなの？私どうかしちゃったの？
The only thing scarier than death. Coming the fuck back to life.
どうしたの翔ちゃん。やだ、泣いてるの？大げさだよ。もう
Is this gonna happen every time?
おかしいよな。
ねえ、私どうしちゃってたの？ここ病院なの？
あ、そうだ。鷲塚先生に知らせないと。ちょっと待ってね。すぐ戻るから。
翔ちゃん。
よし。いただきます。
本当だ。
When your world's gone wrong, log on to poop.com.
そんなことな
That
い。
can be the opening theme.
今日の味噌汁いけるな。
これからは私もうちのこと分担するからね。翔ちゃん一人じゃ大変だもん。
俺だってやってるよ。
兄貴がするのは風呂掃除ぐらいだろ。
おかわり。
おい、大丈夫か？
もう全然平気。先生もできることはどんどんしなさいって。そのうち学校にも戻れるかな。
Using terminal chirons as like scene, like director cue card, you know, scene written on them things, whatever the fuck those things are called. Scene markers, that's what they're
こんな
called,
朝っぱらから宅配かよ。
I
誰
think.
から？
差出人が書いてない。
クール便ってことは生ものか。
何？
ナスビかな。
にしては大きいんじゃねえか。
凍ってる。
超マジかん。
うわっ。やべえ。じゃあひまりのことを頼んだよ。行ってきます。
慌ただしいやつ。さて、これをどうするか。
冷蔵庫には。
Trying to watch anime, but all I could think about is poop.com.
そう。僕はただの幸運だと思っていた。理不尽で残酷な神様が
What do y'all think's gonna happen in poop.com?
僕らの運命に奇跡をもたらしてくれたんだと。こんな僕たちでも幸せになる権利があるのだと。
That's true. Poop.com is anime.
バイトのすっげえ可愛い子見つけたんだよ。ごめん、今日は急ぐ
You
から。
could even say that most anime is poop.com. Girls fall in love and kill people in poop.com. That would be sick.
一緒にするな。
Do they kill them with poop?
おや、あれは大田女子だ。なあ、見たか、あの真ん中の子。あれはなかなか。おお、振り向いた。こっち見てみて。
Maybe poop.com is like a service you use to hire assassins.
お、隣のショートの子もいける。
Poop assassins.
高倉弟。あれ、定期がない。あれ？あー、やべえ。体育で着替えた時にロッカーだ。
I can't remember where I heard this once, where someone was saying like that ninjas, people always imagine ninjas like running up the walls and fucking throwing shurikens and shit, but actually it would just be like a guy sitting underneath the toilet shoving a spear up the ass of some dignitary. And I always thought that was fucking hilarious. Don't know if it's true, but it's really funny.
降ってきちゃったか。傘、僕に。つかぬことをお伺いしますが、このペンギン何でしょうかね。
ママ、お兄ちゃん何言ってる
They can't see the penguin.
の？早く来なさい。
And that's why I guess this is this falls under the, what was the tab? What was the fucking name of the delusion or whatever? Dementia, that's the one. Dementia. Dementia. You saw a YouTube short about like ninjas hiding out in toilets, shoving spears at the asses of dignitaries? That's fucking incredible. I don't remember when I heard this thing. This was like a long time ago. Definitely before shorts, but I don't remember the context at all. But that makes me think it's more true if it's still being said. Not that everything that is said for a long time even approximates truth. I love that shot.
見ての通りだよ。宅配の回答したらこいつらだった。こっちの言ってることはわかるみたいだし、走りぐらいにはなるだろう。どうだか。っていうかおかしいだろこの状況は。だってこいつら。ああ、俺たち以外には見えない。
It used to really bother me how much of this show involves just. Have I been to Japan? On a 2-hour layover. This is kind of like the internet in Summer Wars. Definitely very Mamoru Hosoda coded. Super flat. If you haven't ever seen Super Flat Monogram, I would recommend watching that, which is like a Louis Vuitton sponsored short that is kind of where I think like they really like hardened in what that style is. And I think it's Haruki Murakami working with Mamoru Hosoda, and like it might as well just be like how they developed what that what all his movies were gonna do with the internet from that point forward. And I'm also counting like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time's time travel scenes are also in like a universe that looks like that. Isabel said, I've been to Japan, but it was during a massive existential crisis where I was blaming anime for my shitty life decisions, so it didn't really end up being a great experience. That is really unfortunate. And I'm glad I have not been to Japan at a time like that, because there's been plenty of times like that in my life, but that would be a rough time to be in Japan. Although, what I want to do in Japan more than anything anime related is to like just hike and go to fucking like temples and botanical gardens and like look at cool shit. I'm way more into looking at like real life cool shit than anime cool shit. So and Japan is like, you could hike the song. Hey, we didn't get taken down, and I'm pretty sure I played like 10 unbroken minutes of that episode. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this stream is no longer live. I want to also test an old anime, and particularly one that's actually on YouTube, because sometimes shows are on YouTube, which makes you think this should be watchable, but then you get content ID'd for it anyways, because, you know, probably even on, like, this is on the official Anime on TMS channel, so, like, that would mean the broadcasting network, right? So, fascinating. I didn't know that broadcasting networks had their own. Unless TMS is just a studio, I don't even know. Let's watch the first episode of Magic Knight Rayearth. Oh wait, this is English dubbed. I don't know about that. Hold on. Is there a subtitled episode 1? I want to watch this show because Nova's in it. Part 1. What does that mean? Oh, it's the video game. Okay. Oh, maybe the sub's not on YouTube. Okay. Back to 9 anime then. But we'll see what happens with the visuals. How long did it take for me to get used to hiking? It's definitely something you want to, like, warm your way up from, like, if you get used to walking, that's a good first step if you're not already somebody who walks a lot. Like, I had never been physically active, like, at all up until my 20s. But when we lived in the house that I started this YouTube career on, you know, the old castle house, as I call it, I like, we lived on a road that was very quiet, that every night I would just walk like a mile up and down the road, you know? And so I got really used to just every night going for that 2-mile walk. And, like, so, you know, that got me to a point where I felt more and more comfortable to walk long distances. And if you do enough of that, you know, that starts to get you in the mindset of, like, what hiking is. And, I mean, there's plenty of places you can hike that are just flat, and that's, like, tremendously easier than trying to go up. You know, as soon as you involve incline, that's when it gets a lot more difficult. The last really serious hike I did, Bird and I hiked to the top of Texas, which is, we hiked Guadalupe Mountain, the tallest mountain in Texas, which was, like, 4,500 feet, almost straight up, basically. And maybe 15 minutes in, Bird was like, I don't know if I could do this. I'm already in a lot of pain. And I would say it probably took a few hours for him to reach the pain threshold where he just stops feeling it. And for me, like, a lot of the early hikes we did, like that one, like, I never quite, like, I got to a point where my mind went blank, but I just felt pain the whole time, you know? Whereas that one was like, we got to the top, I was like, you know, feeling quite strained, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm in pain every step. But on the way down, my knees started hurting, and that was, like, bad. Like, by the time we got to the bottom, my knees were, like, searing. So I wouldn't even say that I'm in perfect shape to do, you know, and also we went really fast, like, unnecessarily fast. Well, it wasn't unnecessary because we had time. It was, like, dark by the time we were done. But we got there later than we should have started hiking, and, you know, we just really busted ass so that we would get down before it was dark. But the result of that is I pushed myself harder than I really, you know, should have. But again, you know, the only thing that improves all of that is, like, the muscles that do all of it just get stronger, and they only get stronger by doing it over and over again. So, and they also will deteriorate, you know, to a degree. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's not that you have to do it immediately or constantly, but, you know, you're not going to gain gains unless you're, like, really pushing yourself. Anywho, let's watch anime. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I forgot that the mouse is not